All right. I have a lot to say about the sidekicks. Now that everything's kind of not settled down, but once we got more information, and then I found out what the approximate cost it would be to get all the pets currently with every single style. I think their current system. I'm hoping that after this video is uploaded, these guys actually start growing a brain and realize that this was a terrible decision because according to some sources, as in there was only one source that I was able to get, said they're the best sellers according to some of the spots. But according to one source, it would be 2,677,400 V-Bucks, which is about 17,000 US dollars to buy all sidekick variants in Fortnite. And that's only with what we have currently. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Let's take this guy for example. If you wanted to get all 5 colors, you'd have to buy 5 of those. That one was what? 1,500 V-Bucks? Hold on. Let me check. Yeah, 1,200 V-Bucks. So that's already... That is already 6,000 V-Bucks right there. Meaning that it would cost you about $45 to get... Just to get one particular style and 5 colors. In this current economy, do you think somebody can afford to do any of that? And then don't even get me started. What if you regret it later on? What if you regret it later on and you wanted one with a different accent? Well, now you have to get 5 of those, and now you're down to 20. You're down to 20. Let me just bust up my trusty calculator. That is 24,000 V-Bucks. Yeah, you can see right there. That's 24,000. We go to this. This is all US dollars. This would give you 27,000 V-Bucks, and you're already looking at close to $200 after tax. But no, we're gonna take the math even further. You see, you got the math. So we got 5 times that, so that's 20, 60, 180. So we're gonna do the math right there. It might be slightly inaccurate, but the fact of the matter is, there's like what 180 different combinations. So we'll see right here. So you would need 216,000 V-Bucks. To which, if we divide it by the 1350, oh wait, nope. I did the math wrong. Hold on. We divide it by 1350, then multiply it by 89.99. So you would be looking at $1,400, $1,439.84. And then since we're going to be adding the 0.08 for sales tax, so we're going to do the math right there. All right, what do we have? So we got 1.8. Because we're going by off of the current. So you'd be looking at a grand total of essentially $1,555 with 2 cents. And that's what the current sales tax that we have here in the state that I'm at. For reference, when I first started buying buying V-Bucks in this game back in 2018. From there to now, I think I'm barely like at $2,200 in 7 years. You would have to spend $1,500 to get every single combination of just Bonesy, and that's just one character. And you start think, and when you think about it, it makes sense on why they said that it would be 17,000 USD. Now, it might be slightly off, but when you think about it, there's 180 different combinations, or 161 of the two. That's not taking into account of any of the exercises that these might have. So you got 3, 12, 24. You got 24 times 1,500. So you'd be looking at $160 to get every single style of that one. And then you got the fish stick. It is ridiculous. Like, the math starts to really rack up really fast. Oh, then we got this one right here. This one's going to be even higher. So we got that. And then we multiply that by 3. And then by 3 again. $225 different combinations. And that's 1,200 V-Bucks. $270,000 V-Bucks. What did we say the math was on that one? Oh, it doesn't show the history. But you get the point that I'm getting at. You get the point that I'm trying to get at with this. In this current economy, nobody does not have that kind of money. Yeah, 1,800. You'd be looking at close to $2,000 to get every single style, and I'm starting to believe it. This was probably has the most, so we got 4, 16, 48. Oh my god, yeah, this was probably gonna be the most expensive one. We're gonna take this one for example. So we got that one. I'm assuming that one is a no pattern as an option. And then we multiply that by 3. The worst part about it, you're gonna have people that will buy into this. I don't believe in this crap. Look at that. You got 1,152 options. Meaning that you do the math. Well, I'm gonna do the math for you guys. $1 million. Oh my goodness. Why? And I believe that it's a combination. Because you want to have one that has each variation. This number might be off because I'm not buying this, and I think we have the no pattern as an option. All right, and then we do the math by 1,350, 13,500. I mean, 102.4. So, because we wanted to go off of the set of like 89.99, because 1,350 is the amount that we get from there. So, look at that, nearly $10,000. I don't think anybody's locker is worth that much. Again, who is going to buy into that? I know that some people, it might be silly, and it's just a hypothetical, but think about it. Look at the other stuff. Look at the other examples of stuff that have a lockout. like this girl right here, forged, meaning that this style is permanent. And then the umbrella. We're gonna have to scroll all the way back to chapter 2, season 3. Right here. Another one of those. Permanent item. Because honestly, we look back, it's like, why do we get locked out? Why are we getting locked out of these combinations? I know you want everything to be unique, but what if later on you regret it? Are you going to be spending another $10+ to get another, just so that you get another version of Bonesy? Are you going to really spend 3,000 V-Bucks on another Cuddle Team leader, and you're spending like $23-ish to get to like another set? The math is just not right with this one. The math is just not right with all that. That right there was probably the worst example I've ever seen. All the other ones were very small. That one, just why? I wanted to make a video on this, like a little short video for the YouTube short on stream, but honestly, I needed more time to process how absurd it is that they're making this system. And I hope you guys agree with me. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me ranting for damn near 12 minutes. Because this honestly struck a nerve with me. When I saw that article that it would cost $17,000 with the current sidekicks to get every single variant, I found it to be very absurd. It's one thing with the microtransactions on this game. It is another when you got something like that that's just a complete lockout. Oh man, it is a miracle I did not crash out on that, because honestly, it should not be justified into buying multiples of all that.